very good evening to you. It is the 27th day of July 2022. We have a couple of stories for you, so stay tuned, keep us company for the next 30 minutes. But first, the headlines. Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor reinstated after court nullifies his suspension. First batch of presidential ballot papers arrives in the country ahead of August polls. Azimio One Kenya and Kenya Kwanza coalition make their pitch in the Mount Kenya vote hunt. And in sports, Shujaa head coach says team is ready to roar in Birmingham. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm in the company of Moses Gitonga, our sign language interpreter tonight. My name is ODIDA. Let's get started. Now, the Employment and Labor Court through Judge Jacob Gakeri has nullified the suspension of Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor Professor Paul Wainaina by the university's newly formed council that was gazetted on 12th July. The VC was at the center of a dispute between the institution and the government in relation to a land conflict, as Muteri Eliud reports.
Cheers, joy and merry filled the air today afternoon at the Kenyatta University main campus as students celebrated the reinstatement of Professor Paul Wainaina as the institution's vice chancellor by the Employment and Labor Court, pending determination of a case in court.
I did not resign. I did not resign because there is nothing wrong now. If I'm asked to go because of actually protecting our students, particularly the medical students, then I can do that. But I have not done anything wrong, and we'll wait and see what is going to happen.
Professor Wainaina's tribulations can be traced back to letters addressed to him, the first one being that sent on the 4th of July by the head of public service Joseph Kinyua, requesting Wainaina to surrender the university's title deeds. Professor Wainaina declined that request and subsequent ones on the same matter, a move that didn't sit well with the government. 2 days after angry sentiments by President Uhuru Kenyatta on the 9th July during the groundbreaking ceremony of a 600 million shillings WHO emergency hub, Professor Wainaina in an emotional speech addressed the institution's staff, saying that probably that day, the 12th July, will be the last day he will be speaking to them as the Vice Chancellor. On the same day, a new council headed by Professor Crispus Kiamba was gazetted, with Professor Washeke Wanjohi being appointed the acting Vice Chancellor. While addressing journalists, Professor Wainaina has shed light on the three major issues surrounding the 410 acres land dispute, a matter which is now in court.
Currently, KU has got about 700 and probably 20 acres of land. And what is being requested is 410. So you can see that is a lot of land. The land we have been trying to get from the squatters, the illegal squatters, is already plentiful. Even the land that we are being asked to cede, already we have stored projects.
The fate of the newly appointed council and the acting Vice-Chancellor Professor Washeke Wanjohi is a matter Kenyans will have to await the court's rulings. Mutweri Eliud for KUTV.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has urged Kenyans to embrace peace and unity by shunning leaders whose main agenda is preaching divisive politics and hatred. While commissioning the Nakuru-Kisumu Railway, the president emphasized that Kenya will only continue the development trajectory if honest leaders take over from him.
President Kenyatta thanked Nakuru residents for living together peacefully, stating that as a peace-loving leader, his desire is to live a country whose citizens are united, regardless of their ethnic and religious background. He added that his desire has been to ensure inclusivity and equitable development across the country, saying it was unfortunate that the Building Bridges Initiative, BBI, that stood for those principles was shot down by deceitful politicians.
I hate nobody. Mimi sina shida na mtu. Hata si unaona wananitusi kila siku. Umewahi kusikia mimi nikiwajibu? Mimi nasema Mungu atalipisha tu, hakuna shida. Wanatukana mpaka wanatutukana mamangu wa miaka zaidi ya karibu na matire nadhoni. Alright? Lakini mimi nimesema hiyo ni ya Mungu. Ile yetu imebaki ni tufanye kazi. Lakini tutende haki.
Uhuru reiterated his call to Kenyans to be keen and elect genuine leaders who will build on the country's progress instead of those who run it down. On his part, Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani said President Kenyatta's focus on equitable development has stimulated economic growth across the country, expressing optimism that the refurbished railway station will restore Nakuru to its past glory.
This is a transit station that provides both freight and passenger services from Mombasa Port through Nairobi to Western Kenya. Your Excellency, the significance and contribution of Nakuru Railway Station to the growth of both the local and national economy will continue to be felt across the breadth of our country.
And Your Excellency, I want to thank you because the growth of urban centers in Kenya is directly related to how connected they are. So the more Nakuru becomes connected to the rest of Kenya and East Africa, the more we are going to grow. So I really want to thank you and also to remind the people of Nakuru that back in the days, what defined Nakuru was actually this railway station. If you saw the railway station, you saw Nakuru.
The refurbishment of the Nakuru railway station is a boost to the Nakuru city status, and the ongoing construction of an international airport in Lanet is anticipated to attract more investors, hence boosting economy. President Kenyatta later chaired a meeting that was attended by leaders drawn from all Nakuru sub-counties, led by Governor Lee Kinyanjui. Tracy Nganga, KUTV.
The first batch of presidential ballot papers have arrived today at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, JKIA. The consignment was received by the IEBC Vice Chairperson Juliana Cherera alongside other officials from the Commission. Cherera revealed that the poll body has put into consideration the use of manual voter register and no exercise ballot papers will be printed for the presidential election to avoid any foul play, including ballot stuffing. The presidential debate held at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa has elicited mixed reactions among Kenyans. The much-awaited debate was attended by only two presidential candidates, Deputy President William Ruto of Kenya Kwanza and Waiga Mwaure of Agano Party, after George Wajakoya of Roots Party and Raila Odinga of Azimio boycotted the debate. Nyambura Cecilia went out and filed this report.
After the long-awaited presidential debate held on Tuesday, 26 July, the Deputy President William Ruto of Kenya Kwanza and Wahiga Maure of Agano Party availed themselves to present and defend their agendas to the Kenyans. The Roots Party candidate, Professor George Wajakoya and Azimio's Raila Odinga, however, did not attend. The points of the debate included the cost of living, food security, national debt, national security, integrity, among others. The Deputy President William Ruto was asked to address the land-grabbing accusations, corruptions, and the increased cost of living.
For your information, that's why I am proposing in our manifesto to deal firmly and squarely, institutionally, with a fight against corruption. Because allegations are made, left, right, and center. Any piece of land that I have is legally acquired.
Kenyans have aired different opinions and expectations about the debate and what they feel generally about the two aspirants who presented themselves for the debate.
Raila alifanya vizuri kukosa kukuja. Kwa sababu Ruto ni muongo, hakuna haja aende debate na Ruto. Juu Ruto amedanganya wa Kenya for 10 good years. From 2013 up to now.
Kuhusu Bwana Ruto, hakuna kitu ya muhimu alituambia. Kwa ajili yeye amekuwa hapo kwa muda mrefu. Na kwa hiyo muda amekaa hapo, amejijenga yeye mwenyewe. Hako na pesa mingi ambayo hatujui ametoa wapi.
On the debate, Ruto was very eloquent and witty, if I can say so, and they stand at a higher chances of winning the presidency.
On the contrary, other Kenyans also had different opinions, where some argued that it was better that Raila and Wajakoya did not show up. Others felt like they should have attended on behalf of millions of Kenyans who were eagerly waiting to hear from the contestants, as this would inform their decisions on the ballot.
I'm a bit disappointed because my candidate did not come, because I wanted him to come and explain to Kenyans how he's going to help us to improve our lives. Lakini hakukuja.
I'm also a fan of Raila, but missing a debate is cowardice. I've never seen a US president even missing a debate. It's an act of cowardice, kabisa.
The presidential debate marks the end of the political debates in 2022. The decision as to who will be the fifth president of the Republic of Kenya lies in the hands of the voters. Nyambura Kabura, KUTV.
Thank you, Kabura, for that report. Now, after the presidential debate, Kenya Kwanza's flag bearer William Ruto today resumed his campaign tour of Kirinyaga, Nyeri, and Murang'a counties. The DP was on a mission to drum up support for his bottom-up economic model and bolster his presidential bid. He urged residents of the county not to be intimidated and turn up and vote for leaders who have a clear plan to improve their standards of living.
Deputy President William Ruto, while on a campaign tour of the Mount Kenya region, implored residents to vote for all Kenya Kwanza aspirants, as they are the only ones who can bring change in the nation. He also blamed the handshake regime for disrupting the Big Four agenda, which he argued had led to the high cost of living.
Si huyu jamaa ametusumbua siku mingi. Si mnajua alisumbua serikali ya Moi mpaka karibu apindue. Si mnajua alikuja kusumbua Kibaki. Mara anamuuliza mkeka, mara anamuuliza choo. Si amekuja kukoroga serikali ya Uhuru mpaka unga imetoka shilingi 90 imefika 230. Huyu mtu aende asiende.
DP Ruto promised that if elected, his administration will tackle the high cost of living. He reiterated that the only way to permanently resolve the issue of high food prices is to lower the cost of farming for farmers.
Tumesema mwaka huu tunaweka bilioni 200 kupanga ajira ya hawa vijana. Na tutaweka pesa hiyo katika manufacturing, agro-processing, value addition, ndio tupange ajira ya hawa vijana. Tunaelewana jameni?
His running mate Rigathi Gachagua assured residents that 50% of the ministers in their administration will be women and that 25 billion shillings will be set aside to help uplift women countrywide.
Ndio kila mkulima aweze kuzalisha chakula ya kutosha, uweke pesa kwa mfuko na sisi tupate chakula ya kutosha ili tuondoe njaa katika taifa letu la Kenya.
The Deputy President's allies who accompanied him ridiculed Raila Odinga's absence at the presidential debate, stating that his absence was as a result of not having a clear plan to solve the problems facing Kenyans.
2017 tulimshinda, akauzia Uhuru Kenyatta uoga, si ndio? Na kwa sababu Uhuru ni mtoto ya Serelak akanunua uoga. Si alinunua uoga? Wewe kitendawili mwaka huu na bahati. Uko na nani kasabu ya mtoto ya mama wewe utanana nini? Sasa mimi nauliza wewe Rais Uhuru Kenyatta rafiki yetu. Tunakupenda na unajua vile tulikuchagua. Sasa wewe rais, tafadhali umetuletea mzee hawezi simama kwa debate 1.5 hours. Si ni madharau hiyo? Si ni madharau? Si ni madharau?
With the end of the official campaign period fast approaching, all the presidential aspirants are poised for long work days as they continue to persuade the electorate to vote for them come election day. Irongo Kagodha, KUTV, Nairobi.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition took their campaigns to Laikipia County in a bid to persuade more voters to rally behind Raila Odinga's presidential bid. Odinga claimed his government will prioritize security to all with his running mate Martha Karua, promising to ardently deal with the root causes of insecurity should they ascend to power come August.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition vote today was directed to Laikipia County, headed by the coalition's presidential flag bearer Raila Odinga, accompanied by his running mate Martha Karua.
Watoto wetu wote kuanzia nursery, primary, secondary, tertiary mpaka chuo kikuu hakuna kulipa karo tena.
While traversing Rumuruti and Nanyuki areas of the county, Raila assured residents that his government will strengthen security countrywide. He promised to allocate a special security unit in Laikipia to curb the rampant insecurity witnessed in the area.
Tutaweka ile kikosi ile ya usalama, ile RKPR kuleta usalama hapa, lakini kuendelea mbele tutajenga zile miundo msingi hapa, mambo ya barabara kutoka hapa ingine kwenda Baringo.
On her side, Martha Karua called upon the government to secure all parts of the country without discrimination, while citing that her docket in the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs will ensure their government deals with the root causes of insecurity.
Mimi namuomba kura zenu zote, tusawasishe huduma Kenya, tusawasishe wa Kenya, tulete security. Sababu mtu anajali wa Kenya, security hawezi akasahau. Na ukumbuke hiyo mambo haifanywi bila kupambana na ufisadi.
Leaders present in the Azimio convoy that campaigned in various parts of Laikipia also requested residents of the county to rally behind the Odinga Martha ticket in the forthcoming general elections.
So nataka niwaambie watu wa Laikipia, ikifika tarehe 9 safari hii kwa uwezo wa Mwenyezi Mungu, rais wa 5 atakuwa Raila Amolo. Mungu awabariki.
Mimi kitu nataka kuambia baba ya kwamba tunakuombea Mwenyezi Mungu, wewe umesimama sawa sawa, sera zako na mama Martha ziko sawa sawa. Tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 mimi najua utachaguliwa.
Presidential candidates in the August polls are last full of the Mount Kenya region votes, which are expected to play a critical role in the final face-off of the much-awaited race. With only 12 days left to the polls, they are doing everything within their power to scoop much of the coveted votes worthy of achieving the 50+1. Kevin Omondi, KUTV.
That report by Kevin Omondi is taking us to a fast break here at KUTV. We still have a couple of stories in store for you. Stay tuned.
KUTV, in conjunction with Kenyatta University Funeral Home, is now offering death announcements immediately following our news bulletins at 7 p.m. At this sorrowful time, as you share in your grief, allow us to communicate your announcement of your loved one on KUTV in both Kiswahili and English. For more details, kindly inquire at the KU Funeral Home Service Desk or call 0736 928 380 or dial 020 359 9054.
By so doing, it will greatly reduce the risks that come along with pregnancy, like anemia. So during conception, it is very, very, very key for our mothers to be evaluated health-wise, to be sure that even as they plan to conceive, then the journey is going to be safe.
Daktari, when I was going through the flu vaccination, I came across with live vaccines and dead vaccinations. So one is encouraged, another is not encouraged. Maybe you could tell us why the dead vaccines are encouraged as opposed to the live vaccines.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, today, 67 people have tested positive for COVID-19 from a sample size of 1,924 tested in the last 24 hours. The positivity rate is now at 3.5%. Total confirmed positive cases, therefore, are 37,456. 50 people have recovered. Therefore, the number of total recoveries is now at 331,070. No patients have succumbed to the disease. Therefore, the cumulative fatalities remain at 5,672. President Uhuru Kenyatta presided over the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of 6 factories at the Naivasha Special Economic Zone. The head of state told politicians not to politicize the Naivasha Special Economic Zone that has potential of creating decent jobs for thousands of Kenyan youths.
Good leadership is portrayed when there is an improvement in the economic sector. The sentiments of President Kenyatta when he presided over the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of 6 factories at the Naivasha Special Economic Zone. President Kenyatta also reiterated that it was unfortunate that some leaders have resorted to engaging in politics of deceit to gain political mileage at the expense of the welfare of the people of Kenya.
And this means that the waste material from one factory is the raw material that will be used in the next.
The president added that once the construction of the factories at the Naivasha says is completed, Kenya will dramatically increase her industrial export profile by taking to international markets high quality and competitively priced products.
Naivasha today, thanks to the investments that we have made, is now a strategic location.
Cabinet Secretary of Roads and Infrastructure James Macharia shared his happiness, saying that the SGR was constructed majorly for the Naivasha Industrial Park,
which approved the fast tracking of the SGR from Nairobi to Naivasha.
Speaking during the occasion, Nakuru Governor Lee Kinyanjui thanked President Kenyatta for initiating projects that will economically empower Kenyans for generation.
Pia umeweza kutusaidia kuweza kuwa na inline container depot na ambayo itakuwa ikileta mizigo hapa na kusafirishwa kwingine.
Other speakers who attended were the Cabinet Secretary James Macharia for Roads and Infrastructure and Ambassador Monica Juma for Energy, Ethiopian Minister for Energy Dr. Iyod Tolina, Turkish Ambassador to Kenya Ahmet Semil Mirolu, Turkish Industry Holdings President Hemet Kokun, and his Vice President Dr. Hakim Alisi. Imaset Stacy, KUTV.
The National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NACADA, has taken to Nakuru its campaign aimed at sensitizing members of the public on the need to maintain peace before and after the August 9 general election, with calls on the youths to shun lawless activities during the period. Through the initiative dubbed Sauti Yetu, NACADA has identified 10 counties where it is partnering with youth lobbies to create awareness on the adverse impacts of election violence in the country, particularly among the young people.
We decided that we engage these young people and try to make them ambassadors of peace. From here, we expect them to go and engage because they lead various groups of their youth, so that they can go there and talk to their youth and then tell them that they should not be misused by politicians this time round to cause violence and disruption of our political processes.
Mike Sonko has served Nairobians in different capacity, first as a member of parliament, senator and governor, drawing praises and critics in the same measure. Our very own Auma Evans takes us through the journey of a flamboyant politician whose political future now hangs on the balance.
It is here in Makadara constituency that it all began. And if history were to be written, it will be of a great leader who dedicated his life serving his people.
Huko hata mtaa ilikuwa safi wakati wa Songo. Ungeona mtaru kama hivi yenye iko sahi. Hata kukiwa na shida mahali, Songo alikuwa anakuja kama ni pole anawapa pole.
Songo kwa kwanza mimi ni driver huku Buruguru na alikuwa na matatu huku. Alikuwa akitutetea sana.
Critics too will be part of his legacy.
Na yeye sema ni mtu wa watu, he likes helping people, the grassroots help kidogo, but with maendeleo not really.
Ana mambo mingi sana, maneno mingi, hakuna faida yote ambayo tunaona kwa hizo Songo.
But who is this man? Gideon Mbuvi Kioko, popularly known as Mike Sonko because of his deep pocket and his non-hesitant nature to reach out to his heavy wallet to sort out his people's problem, conquered Nairobi politics with zeal, zest and swagger. The flamboyant politician climbed political ladder first as Makadara Member of Parliament by pulling a surprise victory in the ensuing highly anticipated two-horse race between Ruben Dolo of ODM and Dick Waithika of PNL. At the time, many did not see him coming, and if they did not take him serious. The underdog sprinted away with the prize, pulling 19,913 votes to Ndolo's 17,652, as Waithika trailed with 11,000 votes. His passion and dedication to serving his people was unmatched, from leading community demonstrations to throwing stones and pleading publicly with the powers of the day for his people's plight. Sonko was unrelenting. Never one to settle for less. In 2013, Sonko was elected in as the first senator of Nairobi County with over 800,000 votes. He will then challenge Dr. Evans Kidero for Nairobi gubernatorial seat 5 years later to become the second governor-elect of Nairobi County. But just like in life and politics, Sonko's legacy is complicated. Never want to conform to the status quo. In August 2011, Kenya sanctioned him for indiscipline, taking on by then his party leader Martha Karua.
Siogopi hata kutolewa kwa chama, ni turudi by election, ni wananchi ndo wako na kura.
It is during his reign as Nairobi governor that his eccentric rise to politics began to spiral downward. At one time, the governor was seen partying abroad while county workers engaged police in running battles, taking to streets over delayed payment. The county was in chaos. On 18th of February 2020, Sonko signed his powers away to the Nairobi Metropolitan Services, created to take over the major functions of Nairobi County government. It was not long until he protested against the decision before Nairobi County Assembly impeached him over alleged corruption charges, a decision he appealed against unsuccessful. To quench his political thirst, Sonko decided to seek asylum where it all began, Mombasa County, under new party Wiper Democratic Movement. But his quest to become second governor of Mombasa was dealt a blow by Independent and Electoral Boundary Commission IEBC, who deemed Sonko unfit to vie. But on 14th of July 2020, the High Court in Mombasa squashed that decision. But it was not long until the Supreme Court spoiled the party, halting his 12-year political career, perhaps ushering in the beginning of the end of Sonko's political career. Sonko, however, refused to go down without a fight. He filed an application before the East African Court of Justice seeking to suspend implementation of the Supreme Court decision that upheld his impeachment. Time will tell whether he'll be able to salvage his political career. Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Evans. Auma. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the world of sports. Kenya Rugby Sevens head coach Damian McGrath has exuded confidence in his squad's preparedness ahead of Shujaa Commonwealth Games encounter against Uganda, slated to kick off on 29th of July 2022 in Birmingham, England. Shujaa, who are pooled alongside Uganda, Jamaica and Australia, will open their Group D campaign with a clash against their neighbors Uganda before facing off Jamaica and finally winding up their group matches with an encounter against Australia on Saturday. Football Kenya Federation Premier League giants Gor Mahia have appointed Irish coach Jonathan McKinstry as their new head coach on a 2-year contract. McKinstry will take on the baton from German tactician Andreas Speer after opting not to renew his contract at the end of last season after only 6 months with the club. The Irishman won the Sekafa 2019 with Uganda Cranes during his 18-month spell with the Cranes before he was shown the exit door in November last year. And the Brazilian international Neymar Jr., his parents and former Barcelona presidents Sandro Rosell and Josep Maria Bartomeu will be tried for alleged corruption related to the forward's move from Santos to Barcelona in 2013. Barcelona officially say the transfer cost 57.1 million euros, with 40 million euros going to Neymar's family and 17.1 million to Santos, but Spanish prosecutors later said it actually cost at least 83.3 million euros. Neymar, his father and 2 Barcelona presidents risk jail time if found guilty of tax evasion. That brings us to the end of our bulletin tonight. Many thanks indeed for keeping us company. We meet again on Saturday for the weekend bulletin. I am ODIDA. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Moses Gitonga. Have a good night.